Welcome back, everyone, to the Late Night Review. And this is a movie that I have a lot of nostalgia for. And when it first came out, I was so excited to see it, so pumped up about. I think the casting in here was good, especially Dolph Lundgren playing He-Man. I'm talking about Masters of the Universe with Dolph Lundgren. Now, Frank Langella plays Skeletor, and I think he does a really good job. This is based on the cartoon He-Man, but they did change the outfits and they changed some of the characters. I like this movie quite a bit. I think a couple of the characters that they introduced in this movie are good into the He-Man universe. Masters of the Universe is one of my favorite movies. I think Dolph Lundgren makes a really good He-Man. I think the story is good. I think the special effects are good. I do, especially for the time that it came out. I think it's got good acting for a comic book movie, for the most part. Not great, but competent for a comic book movie. I think the score is good. I think one thing that's lacking in all modern movies pretty much are the scores. The scores aren't as good as they used to be. The score in here is pretty good. The score in Superman with Christopher Reeve, magnificent. So wonderful. I'm so glad there was a long opening to the Superman. They knew what they were doing. They were smart. They knew what they were doing. John Williams' score, magnificent. So I'm glad they had a long opening, which they did to showcase that score, which was brilliant by John Williams. The score was so awesome in Superman. It helped make the movie. And the movie was made by a lot of things, including great acting, great outfit, great. They were true to the comic books and to the lore. Masters of the Universe, they're kind of true to the lore, yes. They did change the outfits. I think it would have been better if they would have had He-Man's outfit the way it looked in the cartoon, even though in here it looked good. Skeletor's outfit, if they would have had Trapjaw and Triclops and the characters, Man-at-Arms, I think it would have been better. But Masters of the Universe is still a good movie to me. I like it. I got a ton of nostalgia for it. I really enjoyed it when I was a kid. I still enjoy it now. It's one of my favorite movies. Dolph Lundgren with his build, with his chiseled chin and his height and his build was really good for He-Man. I always thought he would have made a really good Aquaman. I think Dolph Lundgren would have made a very good Aquaman in his prime. Because my favorite type of Aquaman is the Aquaman I grew up with, and the Aquaman that's been around for most of the decades of comic books. The Aquaman with kind of the chiseled chin, clean shaven. I don't want him looking like a biker or a Viking. It's great if you're making a biker movie or a Viking movie, but it doesn't fit Aquaman. But I like the Silver Age, the Bronze Age Aquaman. That works. That works for Aquaman. Dolph Lundgren would have made a good one. Masters of the Universe, I think, is a good movie. It's got a good pace. The actors in here are pretty good. There's a lot of actors in here that you'd probably seen in other films, especially films from the 80s, 90s. Dolph Lundgren does a good job. The lady who played Bruce Willis's wife in The Last Boy Scout is in here, and I think she plays Tila, if I remember right. And then Man-at-Arms is in here. I've seen that guy in other movies, and it's a good superhero movie. It's a good He-Man movie. I have a lot of nostalgia for it. I think that it's still one of my favorites from back then. The action's good. Frank Langella does a good job as Skeletor. I think the story's good. I think that they're trying to find this key with musical notes, and whoever has this key might become master of the universe. It's got a good story, and I think the pacing is good. I think it's not a slow. You can't say this is a slow movie. Might be a couple sequences that are slow, but the pacing's pretty good. The guy that plays the cop in here with the shaved head, I've seen him in multiple other movies, including Top Gun and other films. He always seems to do a good job. character. He's fun. And I think from start to finish, it's a good movie. I wouldn't say this is a great movie. I love He-Man. I wish they would have followed the cartoon a little bit more in terms of the outfits and in terms of some of the characters. But other than that, I think they did a good job. I like this film quite a bit, and it's one that I've been thinking about reviewing for a while. But there was so many other movies on my list that I wanted to get to also that were written down before this one. So that's why it took so long for me to get to this. But I like this movie. It's got good action. Like I said, I think the special effects are pretty good. I think they hold up for today. I absolutely think they hold up today, because some of the CGI stuff in some of the modern movies sucks. So when you compare them to those movies, when you compare Masters of the Universe with those movies, this definitely holds up. If you were to compare it to movies where the special effects are great nowadays and they do the CGI in the right way, then maybe it doesn't hold up so much. But all in all, in general, I think it holds up. And for the time, it was really, really good. I think, like I said earlier, the score is good. The action's good. Sci-fi, because it has to do with a lot of technology and futuristic stuff, even though they come to the present time back then, according to when it was made back then, they come to the present time on Earth. And it's a good movie, and there's some touching scenes in here. There's some touching scenes with Courtney Cox in here and her family and her parents, what happened to them. And the ending is pretty satisfying and touching. I like the ending. It's got a good message. It's got kind of that 80s, early 90s kind of atmosphere to it that works. It's a feel-good movie. It doesn't make, to me, you don't walk away from this movie feeling bad. You feel up. It's uplifting, which a lot of 80s movies were. Not all, not all, of course not. Horribly disturbing movies in every decade. But it does have that 80s, early 90s vibe, kind of an uplifting feeling. I like Masters of the Universe. Dolph Lundgren's one of my favorite action stars of all time. This is another in his portfolio. I really like him. I think he does a good job as He-Man. And it's definitely worth watching if you like He-Man and you like sci-fi action, especially like from the 80s and early 90s. I think you'll like this movie. I enjoyed it. There's certain parts that are a little embarrassing, a little goofy, but to me, it's good enough where I look right past those. It's still one of my favorite movies that I have nostalgia for. And check it out. I highly recommend it. This has been the Late Night Review. Please like and subscribe. It helps the channel. It encourages me to make more videos, gives me a reason to make more videos. So, and hype this up. Share it with other people too, please. And thanks for watching, and have a good night, everybody.